Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com. Skip's Marysville Music Cafe, with lessons, in person and personalized. Instruments including guitars and amps, horns, strings for instruments, and a myriad of music and sound equipment. Skip's Marysville Music Cafe.
Recording in progress.
Hey, Brad. This gum out my mouth. Oh boy. Okay. It's so good to see so many folks here tonight. Good evening. We'll come to order. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Here. Here.
Here.
No.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Cavoli.
Here. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
Not tonight, Mayor.
Good. Thank you. Mr. City Attorney, any reports on closed session items?
Mr. Mayor, nothing to report.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Chief Sachs. The floor is yours.
Hello? Hello? Can everybody hear me?
To present the Life Savings Award this evening to Sergeant Nelson Rodriguez. Time to time, we review witnesses that were here. Our own staff, where we have the opportunity to our law enforcement officers, just so happens that Nelson's a close friend of mine. He tells me everything. Some shoot after this. Start reading this letter. I'm going to read it. Truly makes us proud to have no 22 Sergeant Runner was off duty, out at the river, up the river with some friends.
Well, this may all seem anticlimactic after that. That was wonderful. We will now move to the business on the agenda. And we move to the community and consent calendar forum. And I have a paragraph to read here. Individuals wishing to address the council concerning consent calendar items or on matters not already on the agenda are invited to make oral comments 2 to 3 minutes. If you'd like to comment and you are attending the meeting, please complete a speaker's card and return that to the clerk. When called upon, please go to the podium to address the council. Raise your hand via Zoom. When called upon by the city clerk, you will be unmuted and you can address the city council. Whether you are here in person or attending via Zoom, when called upon, please give your name clearly for audio recording. You're requested to address your comments to the council and not to the audience. By state law, the council is not permitted to undertake any discussion on any item not permitted on the posted agenda. That being said, you can talk about, you can bring up any topic. We just can't interchange with you on a topic not on the agenda. If you have documentation you'd like to be distributed to council, please mail it to the city. Do we have any members of the public wishing to comment?
Not at this time, Mayor.
After I read that whole paragraph. Okay. We will now move to the consent calendar. Thank you. On the consent agenda are considered routine and are therefore approved by one motion unless a council member or the city manager first requests that a matter be removed from the consent agenda for separate discussion and action. What is the will of the council? We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
Second.
We do. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Unanimous. Okay. Please forgive me, another paragraph to read. We move to the discussion and action calendar. All matters in this section of the agenda are discussed and will be acted on individually. Members of the public may request to speak on any of these items for up to 3 minutes when called upon for public comment. If you would like to comment and you're attending this meeting in person, speaker's card to the city clerk. When called upon, go to the forum to address the council. Participating via Zoom and would like to speak, please raise your hand via Zoom. When called upon by the clerk, you will be unmuted and you can address the council. Whether you're here in person or attending via Zoom, when called upon, please give your name clearly for audio recording. If you have any documentation you'd like to be distributed to the council, please mail it to the city clerk, 526 C Street, Marysville, 95901. And we only have one item on the discussion and action calendar this evening. I will read that item. It's the Adopt a Park program. And it is to pass a motion to discuss and approve the Adopt a Park program. The contact person on that is Mr. Dan Flores. Dan, would you present that item, please?
Certainly. Sorry, Mr. Mayor, I'm going to sit here because the microphone isn't working up there. So if that's okay with you, I'll sit here.
You can do whatever you want, Dan.
Okay, thank you.
We're good friends.
Thank you. And Honorable Mayor and City Council members, I have a recommendation to pass a motion to discuss and approve and adopt the park program. Give you a little bit of rationale behind the recommendation. The City of Marysville is the primary provider of a park-based facility for the Marysville community. In an effort to enhance the quality and safety of our parks as a core value of healthy and livable community, the City of Marysville is encouraging the community to assist with the beautification of parks, trails, and green space amenities. The park residents since the 1860s and open spaces. The facilities include neighborhood parks, community parks, regional parks, mini parks, which are passive parks and urban green space areas, and open space areas. Park land in the city includes 278 acres of approved parks, 5.22 acres of mini parks, and 92 acres of open space. Some of the city's oldest parks date back to the 1860s. All parks require ongoing maintenance and periodic renovation to address normal wear, obsolescence, changes in community recreation preferences, in compliance with new and updated codes. In 2019, the City Council authorized the creation of the Marysville Parks and Open Space Master Plan. With the engagement of individual residents and community park and security improvements at parks, on trails, and open green spaces are top concerns of the community and are the top priority for the community. At the request of the Marysville Parks and Rec Cultural Events Committee, which includes Councilman Belza and Councilman Gilchrist, community development staff reviewed several model programs from other agencies to develop and adopt the park program appropriate for the city of Marysville. This led to this proposal of the comprehensive program for the city, where the individuals and organizations interested in participating would coordinate with community development and public works staff to develop a well-defined, mutually beneficial and safe projects for the enhancement of the quality of our parks. Mayor, we have an Adopt the Park program. We will also be adding a website to this whole program so that people who would like to register to adopt parks can do so via the web. This is in alignment with City Council goal number 5 to support parks and recreation. And under fiscal analysis, the only fiscal impact with this program will be a domain cost, which will not exceed $300 per year out of existing IT professional services budget. So as it turns out, our own staff can create an Adopt the Park program website, which I'm really excited about. And again, it will have accessibility for the Adopt the Park program through that site. The attachment that I've included has an explanation of how the park program works. And it's basically a step-by-step program with 3 tiers that people can participate in. The first tier is a custodial, it's called Tier 1, where adopters of a park will be able to pick up trash, do gum removal and minor maintenance. We have a Tier 2 called beautification, which is painting, landscaping, and amenity donations for the park. And then we have a Tier 3, which is donations like bases, nets, dog courses, different types of capital improvements. All of these things have to be approved by City Council in order for them to occur, or city staff. And all would happen with the guidance of community and public works as we go along. The last page of the pack allows individuals who are in alignment with the city's goals, meaning that nobody who is that discriminates based on race or color or creed or nationality or sex, those types of things can apply to adopt a park. They need to be in alignment with the city's own mission and goals. They can apply, and then if accepted, then they can choose one of the 3 tiers of adopting the park. And then we allow them to do that, and we monitor them to do it one year at a time, basically. And at the end of the day, we're going to try to add some signage so that each park will have signage that will indicate who adopted the park for which park they adopted it. And so we already have a couple of interested parties in adopting the park. And, I do want to thank Councilman Belza and Gilchrist for bringing this forward. And if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them. And I think Councilman Belza, did you have some comments too on this one? Sure. Yep.
No comments, Mayor.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
My name is Jim Carpenter, and I want to thank you, staff and council, for this opportunity to play a role in touching the city, highlighting the city. Wonderful program. We've already seen a little bit, just doing stuff in our own neighborhood, actually cleaning out a little bit of trash. Folks will pull over and say, "Who are you? we can do it. And then they say, how can we get involved? It's like, yes, it's a win-win. Right off the bat, we've already seen this just go with after events. That in that area, we've seen that response from them. Right there, positive. Just being public, so let's clean up my life. Second thing I want to think. We get to set a role model for generations back to community. And so what can you do in your city to make a difference? And what a wonderful place to clean up the park, take care of that. I think that the groups they just for the community spirit that's happening in the area is positive. And I think this follows right along with that. This is partnership with government, with the city.
Sir, I want to thank you for what you said and how well you said it. That was fabulous. Thank you.
Did I hear you say you were going to adopt Ellis Lake or? Okay,
Well, you know,
thank you. Thanks for your input.
You
on
can
it.
one up Dan and ask him when he's going to adopt Beckworth. Oh, those were perfect words, well spoken. Thank you, sir. Madam Clerk. Any other comment from the public? Don't have to say much. If you got some on your mind, we're happy to hear it. Okay, thank you. Time for public comments now closed. Okay, Councilman Belson.
Yeah, I just want to thank Jim Carpenter with City Impact for coming and speaking tonight. And Jim and I have had a lot of dialogue in the past about adoptive parks, and that's kind of a driving force there. And I know another person I'll mention as well is Johnny Burke, and he's been working in parks for quite a long time without officially adopting one. He wanted to be here tonight to speak, but he had some prior arrangements and couldn't be here. But it is great to see, you know, the community and the council and the staff and everybody coming together for the common good. So I'm excited to see this move forward.
Councilman Gilchrist.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Thank you, Dan, for putting this together. Dominic, I know you've been working on this since the time you were in the Planning Commission. I don't think I was living here at the time, but I will tell you a very funny little story. I'll make it really long because, you know, it's only 6:21. But when I lived in Los Angeles, one of the things that impressed me the most was Adopt a Highway program. And all of the highways have, you know, signs on them. But my favorite one that woke me up was the Adopt a Highway Bette Midler. I mean, she adopted a highway and it was spotless. And there were people in costumes cleaning the highways in Los Angeles. And so, you know, of course, Bette Midler doesn't live here, but we have a lot of fun, you know, people that can engage in this program policy that we now have where we can say, here it is, help your community. Because when you start the Adopt a Park program and you read this thoroughly, you can see there's one line here I'm going to read, hope you don't mind. Basic requirements for adopting group. Adoption by one organization does not preclude adoption of another area of the same park or donation to the same park from another organization. So what does this mean? Ellis Lake, huge place. There can be 5 Adopt a Park specialists owning that lake. So merchants that are in the merchanty area, can you imagine? So, and then, you know, you tie it all in with a nice party at the end, like Say Love has. And that's how you get your sense of ownership and pride and dignity back to your community. Thank you very much for your participation, and every neighborhood can benefit from this. And we're ready to give you the tools and follow these simple little procedures and come into the city to get it done. Thank you very much. That's all I have to say.
Mr. City Manager, or Dan, I should ask. Dan, is there beyond this discussion here this evening. And we don't have the press here this evening. I don't see him anyway. And that's okay. He's usually here. How can we publicize this? Is there going to be some way?
So we can go live with this as soon as you pass it. And then it'll be more sophisticated though once we get the website up live, and which we project about another 30 days or so for the website to be live. But we can go live with it. If someone calls us tomorrow, we can have an Adopt the Park application and we can work through that process with them.
I'm just thinking about how to promote.
The city manager. Yeah, we'll do a press release.
Perfect. Good deal. Any other comments or questions?
It is also one last thing, because I forgot about this. It's a little. There's also one of the things you can do as a dog department. You're authorized to call in when you see suspicious activity in the park. You don't have to feel like you are, Mrs. Kravitz or anything. You can actually have ownership of the park and call when you see something unusual happening right away, so we can handle it now and it doesn't become a nuisance problem. Thanks.
Councilman.
So, thank you. I've not really been part of this, and I appreciate everything that has been done with Councilman Gilchrist and, Mr. Bells over here on working for. I'm quite happy to see that this is going forward. I mean, we're not reinventing the wheel, but it is something that we are adopting to be able to move forward with Marysville. And, thinking about what Mr. Carpenter shared with the 1100 block of J Street, I remember when we were able to find a grant just a few years back to be able to, take care of that whole neighborhood back there. And that was phenomenal just to see the transition of that neighborhood right there with curbs and streets and so forth. And I love the fact that we're just keeping the momentum going to be able to, go forward with more smaller little areas of our little city and just keep it going. This is phenomenal. I appreciate the energy that you bring, Mr. Carpenter. I've never met you before, and I appreciate what you said on the dais, and that's awesome. And I appreciate what our fellow council members and Mr. Flores are doing to make things go, because it's about small steps. How do you eat elephant? And here we are. So thank you very much from all you guys and the community. Appreciate that.
Vice Mayor.
First, I want to thank the staff for putting this together. Great job, all of you guys, for doing this. And Jim, thanks. This was a phenomenal idea when I heard this come up from these guys. And then hearing Jim with the kind of comments you have there, if you're any representation of the public, which I think you are, it looks like we might have got this one really right. So I'm glad to hear your comments. I do want to just ask one brief question. Based on the type of program, the custodial beautification donations, I'm assuming if you take a beautification, it includes tier 1 also, but this is not going to include that doing any mowing or edging or that with any equipment, right? We'll keep that in-house with Public Works. Is that correct?
The right button. The right hand.
It's blinking.
No, on the right hand side of, there you go, that one. No, you're not. Well, there you go. Speak up.
Okay. It may involve some weed eating. That's what a lot of our volunteer activities have been limited to. Certainly would not typically be mowing. Our challenges with our staff are really more along the lines of the edging and the handwork, whereas the mowing they can keep up with. It certainly won't displace any of our employees. If we do any major power tools, it would probably be under the supervision. Yeah, and yeah. As an example, we typically on our Say Love cleanups for the end of the month, we have a couple of our staff out thing if we're going to be doing that.
Another thing.
Please.
Tree trimming, we will continue being responsible. We won't have the public going out and coming up with these like
trees throughout the neighborhood. That happened in my neighborhood.
No.
Wild, oops, with a
No.
chainsaw on some of it. Not pretty.
Okay. I know it's going to be wonderful. Anyway, thank you, Councilman Bells and Councilman Gilchrist and everybody involved, Dan. Let's see, we've had a discussion. Any further questions, discussion? I don't see any. What's Willie? Pardon me.
Just one comment on the safety rules. You look at your safety rules on page 3 or 1, 2, 3 of the handout. It does say that no power tools or mowers or tractors or chainsaws or anything like that are allowed. So, and that was reviewed by our council. So just so you know.
Okay.
Just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Okay. And I'm gonna look the other way if someone uses a weed eater. Okay. Okay, what's the will of the council? Move to approve. We have a motion to approve. Second. Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
That was a loud aye or shouted aye. Okay. Let's do committee reports. Let's see, Councilman Belza. We'll start with you, sir.
I have no reports to be submitted from any committees that I sit on.
Thank you. Councilman Gilchrist.
I have absolutely no committee reports. Are there any? We haven't had any in such a long time.
There you go. Councilman Hudson.
I also have no community reports. Thank you.
Vice Mayor.
I do not have any reports this week. Thank you.
Thank you. We may have something to report on traffic next time around. There you go. Okay. Madam Clerk, any council correspondence to take note of?
Not for this meeting, Mayor.
I don't know what the over and under is on this council meeting, but the under might win it. Okay. Mr. City Manager.
I have a few items. First of all, I just wanted to mention, sorry. First of all, I just wanted to mention an item or related to the adopted park. I went on vacation Sunday night and flew out to New York, but Saturday morning I came down the hill and participated in the Say Love cleanup, much to my wife's dismay. But I will say it's just an example of what this community does. And I was assigned to the B Street property cleanup, which was not very glamorous, but I was very pleasantly surprised, and it's a rewarding feeling. There were people of all ages out there, some kids. One mom had to continuously tell her son not to pick things up with his hands. And we had a volunteer from newly appointed dispatch person from the police department out there. So it was a wonderful time. And that I have yet to see that in other communities that I've worked in, the amount of involvement from both the constituents in council, and Council Member Belza stopped by. I think he was painting graffiti with his little girl somewhere in town. So that was a very rewarding experience, even though it just involved picking up trash and weed eating. A couple other things going on. We got the Marysville Stampede coming up and Sodbusters. I'm not sure if the tickets are on sale yet, but they probably are.
Sodbusters are sold out.
Oh, they're already sold out? We do have some of our fire staff on strike team deployment up in the weed area, right? A large fire up there, and they're supporting that effort. Unfortunately, they had to take our old engine because our new ones aren't quite done yet. And then B Street negotiations are ongoing. That's moving forward under Mr. Bordson's supervision. He's our negotiator on that. And
B Street is the property across from Ellis Lake?
Yes.
For the development of a hotel and more, hopefully.
Yep. And then we may be out there, or we should be out there very soon getting a demo of a piece of equipment called an asphalt zipper that council member Hudson has been working with us to get a demo on, and we're likely going to be trying that out on one of the intersections on 14th Street is the hope. Couple of really bad intersections there. So that is all I had, but things seem to be moving along.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we any comments or requests from the council? Vice Mayor, we'll start with you.
Nelson Magana was still here because I would have liked to thank him personally, and I will when I see him. That was pretty amazing.
Yes.
That's, can't imagine, never been in that position like you guys probably have to save a life, but that was pretty amazing. And, you know, I think this new program is going to be fantastic. I want to give Councilman Belson and Gilchrist another shout out. Fantastic. And I think somebody made the comment along the way about momentum going here. And the momentum is just incredible right now in Marysville, not only from the decisions we're trying to make, but the help of the community that has our backs on this stuff. And being here now, finishing up the 4th year, we hadn't always had quite this kind of momentum and support that we have right now. And so anxious to see it continue. Thanks.
Councilman Hudson.
Thank you. Just reiterate on what Councilmember Butterfield said about Officer Magana. It's pretty awesome on days off to make something happen like that. Is yeah. Thank you for that award. Thank you for making the presentation here. I just want to say thank you, Jim, for that information about the road zipper. Been something I'm working on a little while here. It's trying to get things going on the roads, and apologize for my 1 minute early arrival. My truck went into limp mode earlier today, and I could walk faster than my truck could move. So I ended up kind of little jog. I'm just glad I'm not sweating right now. So with that, I am thankful for Councilmember Belza and Gilchrist's movement with Dan on the parks. It's awesome. Just to keep seeing things go in that direction. On a personal note, I do belong to a organization called the Fools, fraternal organization of the As of right now, we are still planning on doing a ceremony event. And remember, the only potential unfortunate aspect of it is most of the firefighters are on fires right now. So we're gonna give another day or so. And if we cannot make an assemblance with an honor guard and a bagpiper and so forth, not 100% sure what's gonna happen, but I will let everybody know here. That's not me, I swear. I will let everybody know whether that event is going to happen. It's supposed to happen at 10 a.m. at the Washington Square Park, and it's a short ceremony, usually lasting about 25 minutes to 30 minutes, with an honor guard, posting the colors, bagpipes, a couple words from local fire chiefs and so forth, just to remember what happened 21 years ago between 343 firefighters that lost their lives and the law enforcement so forth that day, and hope that we can get enough firefighters to be there that day to make the event going. But fire season is finally kicked in, and be prepared in the next couple of days to hear whether it's a go or no go. Thank you very much.
Councilman Gilchrist, any comments?
I have no comments, actually. So, thank you very much. Great work everyone is doing in the city staff, police department, fire department. Got to tell you, it's really easy to be your boss. Thank you.
I just want to give a shout out to Officer Magana as well. That's very heroic, and I'm just proud of everybody that works at the city of Marysville on and off duty. It's very remarkable, and just really feel a sense of pride for our city and our staff and our council. There's a lot going on. You mentioned momentum. I talk to people in town and they go, "Oh yeah, there's nothing going on in Marysville. Oh, it's this, it's that." We've all heard all the statements. And I just ask them, are you living under a rock? Like, are you even aware of what's happening around you? Because there's so much momentum happening in this city and so many great things. And I'm really grateful to be a part of this project. Very excited to see this adopted park be implemented. And I really, truly hope that, the efforts and from all the different organizations like Jim's and Say Love and that it truly continues to inspire and to continue to build that momentum of the community's involvement in our city. And I believe that it will. And it's something that's has been needed for quite some time. Staff, thank you for putting that together. I know you guys did a lot of work behind the scenes and identifying what needed to go into this document, and a very big thank you to that. Looking forward to the rodeo, and thank you for announcing the 9/11 ceremonies. I'm looking forward to that as well. So thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. That's all I have.
We got a short list. First, with about to the firefighters and the police department. These are the folks that run, pardon me, to the sound of gunfire, smoke, buildings of fire. Makes me emotional thinking about it just a second. I was at the 9/11 ceremony last year. I'll be there again this year, Brad. Anyway, adopt a park. Dan, you know that I live on Ellis Lake. I will be embarrassed if somebody adopts the portion of the lawn behind my house. And so now, remember, I'm not as young as I used to be, so I'm not talking about acreage here, but let's get together. And if I saw someone else out there doing it, I would just be so ashamed. And I got a gate that leads out there now, and I'm getting my landscaping done, and I won't be embarrassing the lake anymore. And anyway, so I want to get signed up.
It's already inspired.
We'll sneak you a weed eater.
Oh
there,
boy,
right?
I've got my own weed eater. Let's see. It's as City Manager mentioned, B Street project is moving ahead, even though there's not headlines on it now. We are in the stage where we have first city staff identified 3 first-rate development groups. And it was a tough decision to get it down to 1. They're all very competitive. And we have one that has presented a plan for hotel, retail, and dining and event center. And I don't know, that can change. Things can get moved around a little bit. And we are now in the next step of negotiations, and we probably got 45 days left on that. And then we will move hopefully to a more specific set of arrangements that will lead to a start of construction on that property. And it'll be absolutely wonderful. I have not been in very recent contact with the ownership group of the Hotel Marysville. However, I checked with Dan Flores on this just recently, and my own most recent contacts are a high level of excitement by that group. Their activity level is high. This is a project that is a top line project for that group. It's Urban Smart Growth is the name of the company. They do this around the country, and they've done some fabulous projects. I recommend you all go to hotelmarysville.com, a website they put up that presents, scroll down, you can look at plans for each of the floors. It's what Dan is for is construction date and construction timetable, but we're hopefully on track. Hope to forgive the emotions on the 9/11 thing, but brave people deserve to be honored. Amen. Next regular council meeting will be held Tuesday, September 20th, 2022. We're adjourned, and thank you all for coming. Thank you very much.
Yuba-Sutter.live's local government live streams are presented by Plumas Lake Self-Storage in Plumas Lake, where lifelong local residents are helping other residents keep things safe, providing indoor storage units, outdoor RV and vehicle parking, moving supplies, and Penske truck rentals. Details at plumaslakeselfstorage.com.
Skip's Marysville Music Cafe with lessons in person and personalized. Instruments including guitars and amps, horns, strings for instruments, and a myriad of music and sound equipment. Skip's Marysville Music Cafe.